Guys, welcome back to the Rollin' On channel. If it's your first time joining us, my name's Zach. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we're going to be finishing up the CR125 project. I have a pretty detailed video put together of how all the engine components reassemble. So if you're interested in that, stick around. Also, if you haven't seen the other two parts of the series and you want to know what the heck's going on, you can go back and watch those. Lots of new projects coming up in the near future. I have an engine swap coming on a mini bike here pretty quick, and I have another project that I haven't told you about yet. If you're interested in either of those, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this video. Really helps me out, and it doesn't cost you anything. Without further ado, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the video. Okay, I'm just polishing these cases with an 800 grit wheel just to make sure there's nothing on them before I take the bearings out, because I don't want any of this grit to get in the bearing. Alright, so I got the bearings laid out in baggies here. Got the stator side and the water pump side. And then I have the cases all cleaned up and ready to go into the oven. I'm going to throw these in the freezer, and then we'll be ready to drop the bearings into the case. And over here I have my seals, and I have my clips for the bearings and some Loctite for these screws. High temp. All to the old screwdriver today. Oops. Alright, this is ready for bearings to go in. I'm just going to heat it up again real quick to make sure it's up to temp, so I don't have to tap anything in. It'll just drop right in. Now make sure you get this shielded bearing in the right spot. I see where people are putting this thing in wrong. And it was in the wrong spot on this bike. It was actually on the other case. So, and just like that, the two cases have all the bearings in them. So I have a book here that I'm using to make sure that all the gears here are correct. And I have not seen anyone on YouTube do this right. Let me say, all the different YouTube channels I've seen have done it inconsistently between each video. So one thing I noticed is that this gear here is on a spline, and this gear here is on a spline. And there are ears that come off these two gears. And these gears are clocked in relation to each other on these splines. I don't think it matters which way they're clocked. But that's something that people do inconsistently between videos. They clock these different ways. And I don't think that that matters as long as they're in the proper order here. Okay. Make sure that your gears are all mated and that there's a washer on your right bearing there. And slide these in together. You can see there's a washer on here. There's no washer on here. You want these to be level with each other or else your cases won't go together. The best advice I can give you for gear trains like this is follow your book. Don't trust anyone in any video. I see all sorts of inconsistencies in videos. Follow this book. Make sure the book lines up with what you have going into your engine and you'll be fine. There are service limits on the thickness of this, so check that before you put these back in here. And then there's one for over here. Shift drum only goes in one way. It's only go into the shift drum one way, and they only go into the gears one way. Just make sure you have them flipped the right way. Okay, and that's what that looks like, all back together. This position on the shift drum is neutral because both of these shafts are independent of one another. I turn this all the way clockwise. That's first gear. Okay, now I have a thin layer of grease on there. Get in there. Oh. Like butter. So these grooves were all filed out of here. Pretty smooth. These are all filed down almost smooth. Didn't want to take too much off because I don't want it to be sloppy in here, but that just happened from running the bike without oil. Why does it seem like this is the wrong C-clip for this? This is one exhaust flap here. You can see that that is pretty crisp edge on that. You look at this one, and you can see that mark where that's kind of been mushroomed out a little bit. And that's keeping this power valve from opening and closing properly. It's catching on the cylinder. So I'm going to file this right here until it lines up with the other side. Almost. So there's a spec where I have to measure from the power valve up to where the head sits here. And we're in spec. There's a 20 thou tolerance, so it's pretty easy to hit. But basically I just had to bring this up to the pin, torque the nut down, and then this falls back down to where it needs to. This is all taped up, and I'm going to give it a coat of this high heat ceramic paint. and we're going to see how that goes. That's what used to be the threads in my motor. Not anymore. There's supposed to be a washer on here. I don't know where it went, but we're going to put this one on here because this is getting too close to the case. I don't want to scratch the brand new paint. It's too loose. I'm putting a second washer back there. Now that I have enough Loctite on there to pollute the Atlantic, let's get that in there. Still a little bit of wobble, but the brakes are working and it's no longer hitting the case. The Honda OEM stator cover was made out of plastic. Thing leaked like a sieve. So I got this aluminum one from the following year, or maybe it was 2 years later, I don't remember. They cut us like 1/8 of an inch right here. Why did you guys do that to me? Now I have to silicone that up. It's better than the plastic one.
Can you just say squeeze and let go instead of pull?
Got her? Guys, if you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you sticking around. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Doesn't cost you anything, really helps out my channel. And if you'd like to see more content like you just saw, go ahead and subscribe and join the adventure. Like I said, lots of projects coming up in the near future. I'm super excited with how the dirt bike turned out. just put a new back tire on, got the chain on, and I plan on doing a little bit of carb work, and I'm looking forward to a great summer of riding. Till next time, guys, take care and have a good one.